Well, we're going to see how this flight goes tonight. This is not a long flight. We're only an hour outside of Indianapolis, but we're going to try to take a Frontier flight to Indianapolis this evening. Let's just pretend that I got called in at the last minute. How about that? So Atlanta Airport, once again, it's always just, it's a neat airport. It's a really neat airport. Very detailed in every way. That would include even the parking areas, everything about this airport. Something I'm doing on this flight that I haven't done for a week is I reintroduced Traffic Global, and we're going to hope for a good result. I had some hiccups with Traffic Global, but let's see how it goes tonight. Okay, first things first, we'll get the IRS is aligning. Captain and Purser is on there. We're going to go ahead and put strobe to auto, beacon, wing, and nav lights. Seat belts are going to be set to, well, this one's going to be set to on for smoking, and the other one to on for seat belts. We're going to go ahead and hit the master switch. We're going to get the APU bleed and bring up the APU. We're going to arm the emergency. We'll do a test here of our APU. Test of engine 1 fire. Test of engine 2 fire. Right, that looks good. Tonight, by the way, our QNH is 3006. Okay. And init, we're going to do an init request. And we're going to pull down our flight plan here. Let's keep going. There we go. Good. And align the IRS. I hear the APU coming up. We're going off on 27 right, Varn, RESP tonight, 27 right. Departure. And that's 27 right, Varn. Pardon me if anybody heard that. Okay, we're going to insert that. There we go. Brian, can you get our IFR clearance, please?
I'll get our IFR clearance now.
Atlanta clearance, Frontier Flight 2497 requesting IFR clearance. We have Kilo.
Give me 1 second for that clearance. Frontier Flight 2497. Clear to Indianapolis via the Varnum 2 departure, then is filed. Climb and maintain 10,000. Expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure. Departure on 124.6. Squawk 4111. Expect runway 27 right.
Okay, our flaps are going to be flap 1 at up 0.1. So 1 up 0.1. Right.
Flight 1060 requesting for IFR clearance to
And
Charlotte with
we should be
information
coming in on
hotel.
32 in Indianapolis.
Flybird 60, you still have an open flight plan. Please be sure to close that one first via the new flight button.
Delta 1060 with information hotel.
And what does it say? It says for that Gibbs and Hagel. So Gibbs. Novia Hagel. There we go. And we need to go out to the left here, which would be south. We need, our tail needs to be facing north. Brian, you're in charge of all comms.
I'll handle all the comms from now on.
And would you get our pushback and start clearance, please?
I'll get our pushback clearance now.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
2497 requesting pushback clearance. We have Kilo.
Frontier Flight 2497, pushback approved, tail north.
Got it.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing. Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
And for our external power, I'm going to go ahead and kill that, and chocks can go.
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Very well, let's go. So already 3006 is our QNH already set. Our flight plan is entered. Performance numbers have been put in. Okay, Brian, do you want to go ahead and brief our departure for this evening?
We'll be departing from runway 27 right. We'll be flying the Varnum 2 departure with an initial climb clearance
Welcome
to
aboard,
10,000.
Captain. Tow's connected,
Transition
bypass
altitude
pens
is
inserted.
18,000.
Go and kill the parking
After
brake when you're ready to go.
takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile with a climb to flight level 240. Weather at departure shows no significant weather expected en route.
Here comes the pushback.
In the event
Light
of
'em up.
an engine failure below 400, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure, climbing to 3,000 before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking.
Ignition
After V1,
is
we'll
on.
continue the takeoff,
Engine
handle
1,
the emergency,
and excuse me,
communicate
engine
with
2.
ATC. We have been cleared as filed. Squawk code is 4111, and departure frequency will be 124.6. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
That's a really neat shot there. That looks really good. The reason the map's not available yet is we're still aligning. Should be still aligned. We got about a minute left. That's why we are probably not going to taxi until we're completely aligned.
Cabin attendants, arm doors and cross-check. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Frontier Airlines Flight 2497, departing from Atlanta and heading to Indianapolis. We kindly ask you to pay close attention to the following safety demonstration, as it contains important information even for our frequent flyers. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal fitting into the buckle until you hear a click.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Strap. To release, lift the buckle. Please ensure your seatbelt is fastened whenever the seatbelt sign
And
is
we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Please return your seatbacks and tray tables to their upright position and open your window blinds for takeoff and landing. Mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to flight mode. Laptops or larger devices should be securely stored during takeoff and landing. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatories. If needed, oxygen
All right.
masks will drop automatically.
Taxi lights can come up.
Towards you. Place it over your nose and mouth and breathe through it.
Engines
Remember to
are
secure
stable.
your own mask
Yep.
before assisting others.
APU can
Your
come
life
down.
vest is located under your seat or between the seats. To put it on, slip it over your head. Pull the straps to
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Flaps are set to 1. Ground spoiler is orange. Auto brake is set to max.
There are 2 exits in the front and 2 in the rear of the cabin. The nearest exit may be behind you. In case of an evacuation,
And we are aligned.
and follow all
Brian,
safety
can you get our
instructions
taxi clearance, please?
immediately. For the brace position, lean forward with your head down and your arms wrapped around your legs. Please follow crew instructions.
Atlanta ground,
at
Frontier
all
Flight
times.
2497, ready to
Finally,
taxi.
the
We have
safety
Kilo.
information card in your seat pocket contains all details. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a pleasant flight.
Frontier Flight
I'll get our taxi clearance
2497,
now.
runway 27 right, taxi via 2 Southwest, Lima, Lima Alpha.
Gotcha.
Runway 27 right, taxi via 2 Southwest, Lima, Lima Alpha. Frontier Flight 2497.
Lima, Lima Alpha. We can do that. What he's basically saying is make a left turn right here and keep driving till you get to 27 right. This is my first night of going ahead and re-enabling Traffic Global. I have had some issues with some freeze ups, some resource freeze ups and stuff in Xplane when it's active, and so I've got the latest beta right now, and we're gonna see what happens tonight. See if it kind of makes it all the way through the flight. We are flying into a little bit of weather on the back side of this. see how that goes. Just taking my time to 27 right here. We should not be, it shouldn't be a terribly long flight either. Ready for config test. Okay, so auto brakes are set, flaps, takeoff config, what did you say? Config normal. Okay. So weather in Atlanta is fine. Temp, everything's fine here. It's when we get toward Indianapolis that we may hit some weather. We're almost to the end down here. So we'll turn around for runway 27 right. Brian, run through the brief approach one more time, please.
Departing from runway 27 right, we'll be flying the Varnum 2 departure with an initial climb clearance to 10,000. Transition altitude is 18,000. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile, climbing to flight level 240. Weather at departure shows no significant weather expected en route. In the event of an engine failure below 400, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure, climbing to 3,000 before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff, handle the emergency, and communicate with ATC. We have been cleared as filed. Squawk code is 4111, and departure frequency will be 124.6. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
Okay, I think you're right. Concur.
Approaching the tower on 119.1. Frontier Flight 2497.
I'll contact tower now.
Okay. Right. Auto brake on max. Flaps to
Atlanta
1.
Tower, Frontier
Ground
Flight
spoiler armed.
2497. Frontier Flight 2497. Holding short of runway 27 right. Ready for departure.
Frontier Flight 2497, Atlanta Tower. Runway 27 right. Winds 340 at 15, gusting 23. RNAV Sea Park, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff.
Runway 27 right, RNAV Sea Park, cleared for takeoff. Frontier Flight 2497.
Custom airport. This is KATL. Is a custom airport. I really like. It's one of my favorite. I think it's like the flagship Nimbus airport. All right. Front pressure. We have a wind because I've got my pedals almost all the way to the left. V1 rotating. Positive rate. Gear up.
Frontier Flight 2497, contact departure on 124.6.
Switching to departure on 124.6. Frontier Flight 2497.
Flaps to retracted. And thrust to climb.
Atlanta departure, Frontier Flight 2497. Good evening, we're climbing past 1500.
Frontier Flight 2497, Atlanta departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 10,000 direct Barnum.
Climb and maintain 10,000 direct Barnum. Frontier Flight 2497.
Wow. That's a big difference, Barnum. That was a big help to give us that direct.
Frontier Flight 2497, climb and maintain flight level 220.
Climbing and maintaining flight level 220. Frontier Flight 2497.
220. pretty much like just heading due north. We're only 366 miles from Indianapolis.
Frontier Flight 2497, climb and maintain flight level 270.
Climb and maintain flight level 270. Frontier Flight 2497.
And landing lights off. And taxi nose lights are off. Seatbelt sign stays on.
Dear guests, the lavatories are now available for use. You may also use approved electronic devices in flight mode. Cabin service will begin shortly, so please sit back and relax. Thank you for your attention.
All right. So we have a crosswind. The crosswind is from 263 at about 45 knots. So, and it definitely is creating a little bit of crab in our climb.
Frontier Flight 2497, contact Dobbins radar on 120.225.
Switching to Dobbins radar on 120.225. Frontier Flight 2497. Dobbins radar, Frontier Flight 2497. Good evening, climbing through 13,000 for flight level 270.
Frontier Flight 2497, Dobbins radar. Good evening, Marietta altimeter 3007. November 505, 126.95. What was the heading?
Altimeter 3007. Frontier Flight 2497.
And 18,000, you'll see us switch over to standard.
Frontier Flight 2497, climb and maintain flight level 330.
Climb and maintain flight level 330. Frontier Flight 2497.
330, got it.
Frontier Flight 2497, contact Atlanta Center on 135.0.
Contacting Atlanta Center on 135.0. Frontier Flight. Atlanta Center, Frontier Flight 2497. Good evening, climbing through 17,000 for flight level 330. Atlanta Center, Frontier Flight 2497. Good evening, climbing through 17,000 for flight level 330.
Frontier Flight 2497, Atlanta Center. Good evening, Atlanta, altimeter 3010.
Altimeter 3010. Frontier Flight 2497.
We're on standard now for altimeter.
Frontier Flight 2497, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Climb and maintain flight level 370. Frontier Flight 2497.
Okay. We may dodge the weather. We'll see.
November 215, Pushback, Atlanta Center, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Looks like a pretty straight in approach on 32, ILS 32.
Frontier Flight 2497, climb and maintain flight level 380.
380.
Flight level 380. Frontier Flight 2497.
Alright, we'll go ahead and configure for arrival. Our landing performance will be brake mode of medium. So performance, next phase, next phase, next phase. QNH will be 30.15. Temp will be, whoa. Can I do a -3? You can. Decision height, by the way, is 200. And winds are 290 at 10. Alright, so we've even already got our numbers entered for arrival, for approach. Our distance from Indianapolis is about 304 miles. We're flying in our A321neo, the Toliss, and I think it's one of my favorite for ease of use, the favorite aircraft. But I still like the MD-80, and I think better. Current altitude is 29290, climbing to 380. Kind of a quiet night up here. How are we doing? Let's see. $286 miles outside of Indianapolis. And like clockwork, I have a feline sitting in front of me. Hey. Tim here? Cheetah. 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 Yeah, I'm taking pictures of my cat. Alright. Laugh if you want. Okay. We're 330. This is one of those cases where once we reach our top of descent, once we reach our top altitude, we'll be on we'll be descending almost instantaneously. I think top of climb is about 30 miles away right now. Wow. We have a crosswind we're flying into right now. Flying, that's 100 knots. Better to be safe than sorry. Temp at Indianapolis is about -3 Celsius, somewhere around there.
Frontier Flight 2497, expect the Gibbs 4 arrival, Hagel transition. I'll have you descending in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Expecting the Gibbs 4 arrival, Hagel transition, Frontier Flight 2497.
All right, we're almost at the top of climb. We're at about 36,000, about 366 right now, 370. We'll max out at 380, and almost like a matter of a second later, we'll be at top of descent and come back down. We are already configured. One thing I want to do. QNH is 3015 at Indianapolis. It looks like we're crabbing, but we have a wind from 246 at about 246 at 87 knots, 88 knots. It was actually over 103 knots earlier, but it's kind of giving us a sideways approach. making really good time, by the way, on this flight. We're at 226 miles outside of Indianapolis. Our approach is on 3-2, so there's not a whole lot of transitioning. We'll literally fly straight in, which is nice to get that occasionally. Alright, we have just now hit top of climb, right at 380.
Dear guests, we are now at our cruising altitude, and the cabin crew will begin the snack and beverage service shortly. We have some delightful options for you, including our popular pretzel bites and refreshing soft drinks. After the service, selected items from the Frontier Airline shop will be available for you to browse. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Anyone not familiar with say Intentions. I'm using Say Intentions with the cabin crew. And they're my ATC also. Okay. Seeing where I want to set my altitude to here. I think I'm going to set it to starting out with 250. That's my first like at or above at Haysive after top of descent, so I thought I'll put it there.
Frontier Flight 2497, contact Indianapolis Center on 126.9 or 25.
Switch. Indianapolis Center, Frontier Flight 2497, evening, maintaining flight level 380.
Okay.
Indianapolis Center, Frontier Flight 2497, evening, maintaining flight level 380.
Frontier Flight 2497, Indianapolis Center, good evening.
And we are maybe about 66 nautical miles from top of descent. I will probably go ahead and set my altitude here down to 3,000, and it's going to manage its way down on the Airbus. So say 4,000 of me. Okay. I have not taken the seatbelt signs off, and I'm leaving it like it is. Alright, 57 miles to top of descent, and we are okay. Good night. You done? Yeah. About 180 miles outside of Indianapolis. Woohoo. We actually did miss some of the weather. I look out to if we look to the east, I do see some precip and some really windy clouds, and we're avoiding all that. We're currently proceeding with a crosswind coming from 245 at 71 knots. Ron, would you go ahead and get our descent clearance to start our descent on the Gibbs for arrival?
I'll request our descent clearance now.
Indianapolis Center, Frontier Flight 2497, requesting clearance to descend for the Gibbs 4 arrival.
Frontier Flight 2497, descend via Gibbs 4 Hagel, transition into Indy, altimeter 3010.
Descend via Gibbs 4 Hagel transition, altimeter 3010, Frontier Flight 2497.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our approach to Indianapolis. At this time, we kindly ask everyone to return to your seats, stow your tray tables, and fasten your seatbelts. Please note that the use of the lavatories is no longer permitted. Thank you for your cooperation as we prepare for landing.
Okay. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Marty, if you're still listening, I apologize. I was not paying attention to the chatter. We're in an A321 Neo, Toliss model. It's probably one of my, when it comes to flight models, it's probably one of my favorite ones to fly, just because it's so simplified. I guess just the way it's so automated in so many ways. But yeah, A321neo. Apologies for the delay there. I had to set my iPad down to my right, and it's not at my eye level, so I don't always catch my my chat stream. There, apologize. I actually never I never intentionally dropped the seatbelt sign for this whole flight because of the distance. Not concerned about that. Good. A short flight, but it was just giving me the old warning about fuel below 6,600. I've already done performance settings, so we're ready for our descent. Brian, can you go ahead and brief the approach?
We'll be arriving in Indianapolis on runway 32 using the ILS approach. We'll be flying the Gibbs for arrival. Transition level is 18,000 feet. After the star, we'll intercept the ILS to runway 32. Weather at arrival shows winds 280 at 14 knots. Solid overcast at 9,000 feet. No significant weather expected. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. For any abnormalities, we'll communicate with ATC and execute a go-around or missed approach as needed. Squawk code remains 4111 and approach frequency will be 123.675. We'll configure for landing with flaps 30. Final approach speed will be 135 knots. Once on the ground, we'll be taxiing to gate A3. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
I believe you're correct. Pardon me. Sure. I think what I like, although I love the Boeing 737-800, it's probably one of my favorites, but I do like the consistency across the board, how the Airbus McDo, the controls are so similar from each aircraft. So like the A320, I have flight factors earlier, A320, not thrilled with it, but it's okay. But my favorite one is the A321, and then the A330 by Toliss also. It's an excellent aircraft. We're using Traffic Global on this flight, which seems to be doing okay, but I think I've had some crashes that were related to Traffic Global. And we're using Say Intentions for our ATC and cabin crew and my pilot monitoring. We are 105 miles outside of Indianapolis at about 300. Alright. We're standing at about 90 miles outside of Indianapolis. Bring that back in. And we're going to set our auto brake to medium. Our VREF is going to be 142 knots, which means about 140. We'll go 148 knots, 147 knots. Only concern I have on approach is just a little bit of wind, but other than that, I have no concerns really. Where are we now? So we're at about 240. Check our distance out. 82 miles outside of Indy. We'll be coming down on runway 32. And just for giggles, let's let Brian brief us one more time. Brian, would you brief the approach one more time for me on our A321neo?
We'll be arriving in Indianapolis on runway 32 using the ILS approach. We'll be flying the Gibbs for arrival. Transition level is 18,000 feet. After the star, we'll intercept the ILS to runway 32. Weather at arrival shows winds 280 at 14 knots. Solid overcast at 9,000 feet. No significant weather expected. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. For any abnormalities, we'll communicate with ATC and execute a go-around or missed approach as needed. Squawk code remains 4111 and approach frequency will be 123.675. We'll configure for landing with flaps 30. Final approach speed will be 135 knots. taxiing to gate A3. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
I concur, Brian. The only concerns I have are a crosswind and some overcast. Other than that, we should be okay, and we will monitor those things.
We'll monitor the crosswind and overcast conditions closely during the approach.
I think I would. I say this. I've been subscribing to say Intentions for about 8 months, and I have never looked back. I really do enjoy it. It's good. It's a really good subscription. It's worth the money, especially if you spend countless number of hours on these flights. It really does help. Kind of adds to the experience. All right, we just dropped below 200, and we're about to knock off the standards. In fact, I may be a little early, but I'll go and do it. QNH is already configured for Indianapolis. Right, we're right on kind of pace right now, so the easel waypoint has a 1/4000 at or above, and we're currently at 1/8000, so we're in good shape. Okay, we're going to kind of make a curve to the left that sets us up for 3-2. What's coming up here? Right. Great, we're in good shape. And there's those overcast clouds. So it looks like there was a restriction of 1/4000 at the easel waypoint. That's 3 nautical miles from here, but
Flight 2497, contact Indianapolis approach on 124.65.
I think we should be arriving at it to where we don't have to slow down or like stop descending. Keep going.
Indianapolis approach, Frontier Flight 2497, evening descending to 16,000.
Frontier Flight 2497, Indianapolis approach. Good evening, Indy altimeter 3008. Expect the ILS, runway 32 approach into Indy.
Got it.
Altimeter 3008, expect
246 miles out. We're about 13,000. I just activated approach phase. Let's go ahead and get our landing lights up. I'm a little early. No, not really. Not a whole lot early. But let's go and get those up. Coming up on Bupty waypoint, and who's with me here? Okay. All right. I'm a little surprised that it didn't slow us down more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us down to about 240 knots because I don't want to be above 250 knots under 10,000.
United 219, contact Indy Tower on 120.9.
019, United 219.
United 219, turn right, heading 080.
Right, heading 080, United 219.
Okay. And we're already on a trajectory for
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now
the
on our
airport, so
final
we'll go ahead
approach into Indianapolis. At this time, we kindly ask you to turn off your electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate. Please ensure your tray tables are put away, your seats are in their full upright position, and your seat belts are fastened. Our assigned gate is A3. Thank you for your cooperation as we prepare for landing.
Frontier Flight 2497, proceed direct Osmo. Descend and maintain 4500 until established on the localizer cleared for the ILS runway 32 approach. Speed below 210 knots until established.
Direct Osmo. Descend and maintain 4,500 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 32 approach. Speed below 210 knots until established. Frontier Flight 2497.
Sounds like a plan. Flaps are at 1. We're 26 miles out. just got a message about anti-ice, so we are going to take it serious. And we're about to drop gear a little early to give us some more drag. We may not. We may not have to. Actually, we're in good shape. It's good.
Frontier Flight 2497, contact Indy Tower on 120.9er.
Contacting Indy Tower on Indy Tower, Frontier Flight 2497 evening. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 32. Indy Tower, Frontier Flight 2497 evening. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 32.
Alright, we're captured on the localizer, and we're about to intercept the ILS here. And I can't see a thing at the moment. Everybody seeing a runway out there? Right, we're going to come in and gear down. Alright, we have a headwind now of about 21 knots. Alright, looks like we're about to capture. And got the localizer. There we go. Got the ILS. Yeah, we're good. Can't see. Once again, I still can't see the airport, but no, can't see anything. So it's definitely a hard overcast. Decision height is 200.
$2,500.
23 knot wind in our face right now. There we go. There's my runway. Runway in sight, Brian.
Acknowledge. Runway in sight.
2000.
Alright, ground spoiler is armed. Auto brakes are set to medium. Flaps are currently full. We are running de-ice because I got a message earlier that kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I think we're all right. About ice on wing. Right. I'm intentionally plus 6 on VREF with the wind in my face.
500. 400. 300. 100 above. 200. Minimum. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. Retard. 5. Retard. Retard.
Ground, Frontier Flight 2497, cleared of runway, ready to taxi to the gate. Good evening.
Alright, let me check our
Frontier Flight
gate position.
2497, Indy Ground, taxi to gate A3 via hotel, hold short of runway 14, then Kilo uniform. Good evening.
Ladies and
Gate
gentlemen,
Alpha 3 via
welcome
hotel,
to
hold short of runway
Indianapolis.
14, then
Did you
Kilo
know that
uniform.
Indianapolis
Frontier
is
Flight
home to the
2497.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where the iconic Indy 500 race takes place every year. It's also known for its beautiful parks and vibrant cultural scene. Thank you for flying with Frontier Airlines. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position.
This place is definitely a big FedEx hub.
To Denver departs at 6:20 at gate B12, and flight 351 to Orlando departs at 6:50 at gate B15.
This is a very strangely configured airport. We're going to end it here tonight. I'm not going all the way to the gate, the normal gate tonight. I'm going to end it here. Let's go ahead and get external power and chocks. Get some lights up here.
59 cleared for push and start. Advise when ready to taxi. Contact tower on 120.9er when ready for departure.
We're clear for push and start. Advise when ready for taxi. Tower on 120.9er. 9359er.
Okay. And I'm going to go out, take one quick look at the landing, and we'll call it. Right. Okay. So tonight we were flying the Toliss A321 Neo aircraft. We flew out of Atlanta to Indianapolis, and our primary tools tonight was Say Intentions, which I don't do any flights without Say Intentions, along with the Nimbus KATL airport, and Traffic Global. This is my first use of Traffic Global again, and it did pretty well tonight. Didn't seem to impact anything negatively. Didn't cause any freeze ups or anything. So so far good result tonight. All right. I hope everybody has a super night and happy and safe fly.